So today we're going to talk about imaginary numbers. All right. So far you guys have only dealt with real numbers. All right. But now that you guys are in algebra 2, we're going to learn that there is a whole world out there of imaginary numbers. Okay. So here's the definition. Square root of -1, also known as, this is an imaginary number, okay? And the reason why I write my I like that is because it's an italicized I, like a cursive I. So you could write it like this, or some people like to write it like that. Either one is your preference, okay? So why? Why is the square root of -1 an imaginary number?
Because if you put it into your calculator, it says error, non-real answer.
Okay.
So.
Okay, but think about this. Square root of, say, -4, right? Is there a number that you can multiply by itself so you could get -4? No, you can't. Because you could do -2 times -2, but then what does that give you? Positive. And you could do positive times a positive, but then of course that's a positive. There's no way you can get a square root of a negative number, right? All right, but there's no way with real numbers. That's why you could do square root of -1, which is an imaginary number, okay? So, doing that lets us simplify negative square roots, okay? So, A says square root of -9. Square root of -9 means you have square root of 9 times square root of -1, right? Because inside you have 9 times -1, that gives you -9. You could break them apart, yeah? What's the square root of 9?
3.
3. What did I just tell you the square root of -1 is? I. So this is 3i. Okay? If you have a negative inside the square root, an I needs to come out. Does that make sense? So, this one should be 5 plus, oh, it says square root of -81, so it should be I root 81. Do you agree? So what's the square root of 81? Yeah?
Yeah.
5 plus 9i. There we go. The 5 plus doesn't change because that's your real number, right? Can you combine those? Can you add an imaginary and a real together? No, right? All right, so let's look at C. Square root of -144. Well, that's I root 144, right? What's the square root of 144?
12. So I 12. 12.
So it's 12i. That looks like a little 6 or something there, doesn't it? Sorry. Oh my goodness. Let me rewrite it. 12i. There we go. So how about the next one? The real number part stays the same, -3 minus. I have a square root of -5. Do I have a negative inside the square root?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then an I comes out, and then now inside I have square root of 5. Can I simplify square root of 5? No. If you put that in the calculator, do you get a nice pretty number? No, right? You get a decimal. And 5 is a prime, so that's it. That's all you can do. Okay? Here's the thing, guys. Your calculator will actually do a lot of this for you. Your calculator will actually do I's for you. Here's what you need to do first. In your calculator, please go to Mode. I'm going to go to Mode. If you go down, right now, your calculator may be on Real. You see next to Real, A plus BI, go to that and hit enter. Make sure that that one is highlighted. Okay? A plus BI. And then now let's go to second mode. Let's quit out of there. And now try it. Put in square root of negative 144. What do you get? 12i. All right? Now you switched your calculator so that your calculator recognizes imaginary numbers. Yeah?
Will it still do all the regular stuff that it does?
Yep, and it'll still do all the regular stuff. You didn't change anything that the regular things were doing. You just added imaginary numbers to it. Okay? All right. All right, so then let's look at E. 5 plus or minus square root of 36. Guys, that plus or minus, that's fine. It just means 5 plus square root of 36 and 5 minus square root of 36.
So
Okay?
to write the answer in positive or negative?
Yes. All right. So look at this. 5 plus or minus square root of 36. Guys, this square root of 36, is there a negative inside? No. What's the square root of 36?
6.
6. So this is really 5 plus or minus 6.
So,
Isn't that just all real numbers?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know what you can do? What you should do?
Separate notation?
No. Just 5 plus 6 and 5 minus 6. Give me the two numbers.
11 and
11
1.
and negative 1. Good. See that? If you can combine them, you must. Now, look at F. 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 64. 3 plus or minus, wait a second, there's a negative inside the square root. An I comes out, and I have square root of 64. Is square root of 64 a perfect square? You get a nice pretty number? Yeah? What do you get?
8.
All right, so then this is 3 plus or minus 8i. You know, it's not wrong if you said 3 plus or minus I8, but that's like saying, you know, x3 instead of 3x. Just a little bit awkward. It's not wrong. It's not in standard form, right? All right, any questions about this? Okay?
Oh,
Yes.
so with the ones that have two answers, like E,
Mm-hmm.
do you put like parentheses 11, comma negative 1?
You can do that. But you can just circle it, it's fine. There's no like x equals, so that's why. Okay? Alright, so the next one. Wow. It says let's practice. Well, practice what? I just showed you y's and now I'm telling you add, multiply, subtract. Crazy, right? You know what you're doing is 4 minus I plus 3 plus 3i. You're just combining like terms. Okay? So if I have 4 minus I plus 3 plus 3i, what's 4 plus 3? What is a negative I plus 3i? 2i, right? That's your answer for 1. Remember how I told you that you could do all i's on the calculator? Yeah? Show you. Go to your calculators. Put this in exactly the way you see it. An I is second decimal, okay? So I'm going to do parentheses 4 minus I close plus 3 plus 3i. If they give you parentheses and everything, you better put the parentheses and stuff in, okay? Hit enter. What'd you get?
7 plus 2i.
7 plus 2i. Oh my goodness. The next one, Old calculator. Let's try it. All right, does anyone have number 2 for me? Yes?
1 plus 5i.
1 plus 5i. All right. How about number 3? Anybody else?
2 minus 3i.
2 minus what?
3i.
3i. And how about number 4? Kevin, did you put in number 4? What'd you get?
1 plus 14.
1 plus 14i. Cindy and Ethan, did you guys get these too? Are they good? All right, let's do the rest. I think there are 3 more, right? Okay. Cindy, was this good? These all right? Ethan? Okay. Anybody have 5?
Negative 6 plus 6i.
Negative 6 plus 6i. Okay.
And 9 is 51 plus 3i. Which is kind of weird. It's something wrong.
51 plus 3i. Is that for this one? Okay, well then go back and fix it. Try it again. See if you get the same thing. Is that right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah? Okay. Well then how about the next one? 5 plus I squared. 24 plus 10i. Timlin, is this right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thanks, guys. So now I'm going to tell you about the last part of today's lesson. Okay? Any questions about this, though? All right. So, complex numbers. Complex numbers means you have a real part, which is A, plus BI. You have an imaginary part, the one with the I. If you have a real and an imaginary together, that's called a complex. Okay? Here's the thing. Sometimes they're going to give you I to the something power, and they're going to say evaluate. All right. What happens when you do that? Well, you have 4 choices that should be your answers. Okay? Write this down. It should be I. All right. Okay, so I have a really cheesy way to remember this, okay? So you could say, I won, right? Like, I won, right? And the 2 in the middle are negative. We keep the negative ones inside. We keep them hidden. We got the positive ones on the outside. Does that make sense? This is like a little squad here. Imaginary squad. Okay? So, I won, and the 2 in the middle are negative. Okay? These are your only answer choices for when they give you I to the something power. All right? So, here's the thing. You can get that by putting it into the calculator. There's a longer way, but I'm just going to show you a shortcut because why? Why should we get these wrong? We shouldn't, right? So, if you look at I to the 38th power, okay? Here's what you do. Go to your calculator, go to Math, tab over to Number, and press 3. Get the I part something. Okay? Oh, cross this out. I don't know what this was. Repeat step. I don't know what that was. Cross that out. Sorry. So I part. All right? So I'm going to go to my calculator. What is this? I to the 38th power. So I'm going to go to Math, Number, and the third one, which is I part. Right? Now, Now, I'm going to go to I, which is second decimal, right? And then how do you do exponent?
This caret.
Yeah, you got to do this little caret above the above the divide, right? And then put 38. And then close your parentheses. What do we get? -1. If you get a 3, if you get a 2, and right? It should be I1, with a 2 in the middle, right? Negatives. I, -1, -I, and 1. All right. What was this? -1? All right. You guys try the next ones, please, and then tell me what you get. Tell me, what is I to the 103rd power?
-I.
Is that right? -I? Okay. Cindy, what is C? 1. Timwin, what is D?
-1.
-1. And you know what, guys? With this -1, circle it, put a star, something. I squared is -1. This is very important. You will see this again. And then, Ethan, what is I to the 111th power? You didn't get this one? Why? Put it in now. What did you get? You didn't do it either?
It's -1.
Oh.
-I.
Listen, if you didn't do it now. Why are we not doing this? It's literally plug and chug, right? Huh? Math, number, I'm parked. Oh no. Alright guys, 1 through 10 on the back. It's all multiple choice. We're going to practice these skills. Calculator, right? Basically what it is. Try this, please.